Yo, how's it going, duelists? Good afternoon. Some new cards just got announced for TW01, and it's actually some Infernoid cards. And this deck won a YCS, so it's definitely a powerful deck, I would say. But these two cards are really good. So it got a new Link and a new Fusion. I'll definitely show you the prices. So there's really only two expensive Infernoid cards that we see. This card has definitely been getting bought out a little. Infernoid Onuku. There's actually a smaller reprint. You can get a secret rare for like $5 or $3. But this card has just been shooting up. So it used to be like $14, but since this news, it's been selling for like around 20, getting close to there. And then we see another card that was around $20 now. So it was actually only $5.49. Well, who can really trust that price, right? But you can only get like heavily played ones. You can only get a near mint unlimited. You can't actually get a first ed until we get higher up. So moderately played first ed $11, and when we look at the history, it's been like near mint first edition for $17, and it used to be. This actually hasn't changed that much, so no hype around that. But I do think these cards are pretty good, so it might cause some buyouts in the future. I'm not sure how relevant this fusion actually is. That was the other archetype, ice barriers. But let's go over these cards. So level 1 fire, Infernoid Evil. Yeah, Konami loves these level 1 fires for sure lately, especially even ones with attack and defense stats that are equal to each other. So this card states its materials are 2 Infernoid monsters. It can only use the first and second effect once per turn. If it's fusion summon, it's an F effect. Let's go. You can banish 1 Infernoid monster from your graveyard, and then Foolish, Infernoid monsters with different names from each other from your deck to the graveyard equal to the banished monster's level. So that's pretty broken. You can literally send like up to like 4 or 5 monsters. So this card's pretty insane because not only that, its second effect, if this card is sent to the graveyard or banished, you can add 1 void spell or trap from your deck to your hand. That's literally just a rota for no reason. So I think this card is pretty insane. Just by itself, this card is definitely a real boost to the Infernoid archetype. And then this Link 4 is actually really good too. So it's a Fiend, Link 4. The materials are 2 plus monsters, including an Infernoid monster, so only 1. And you can only use the first, second, and third effects once per turn. If your opponent would special summon a monster, quick effect, you can tribute 1 monster, negate the summon, and if you do, banish those monsters. So I assume that would actually be able to work on multiple monsters summoned at the same time, just for 1 tribute. And then if a card is banished from your graveyard, you can banish 1 card on the field. That's a really insane effect, because obviously we know that the Infernoid archetype has like DD Crow effects. If this link summon card in its owner's control is destroyed by your opponent, you can special summon 1 Infernoid monster from your deck and ignoring its summon conditions. That's actually pretty insane that you can like just literally summon any Infernoid. It does suck that it says destroyed though, so it's not just if it leaves the field by a card effect you get the effect. Usually that's what most of these cards do, like the new Ice Barrier Synchro. So it's kind of broken. I definitely think the first effect is really good, and I definitely think the second effect's really good. But for a Link 4, it is hefty. I definitely think the fusion is just so overwhelming though. And then they get a new spell card, so Shido Suru. Alright. Incinerating Purgatory, Void Blaze Up. Okay, there we go. Void Blaze Up is probably the real name. You can only use the second effect of this card's name once per duel. So once per duel effect, it must be broken. Reveal 1 Infernoid monster or 1 Void Spell or Trap in your hand. Discard your entire hand, then draw the same number of cards you discarded. That's really weird. So it's kind of like a card destruction for only yourself, because you are going -1 with that, and it has a requirement where you have to reveal an Infernoid or Void spell. So that's probably for like, so you can't just play it like a generic card in Dark Worlds. It's really weird though, because maybe you could actually have some synergy with this in Dark Worlds, because it discards your entire hand, but it is an effect. It's not cost, and then you draw the same number of cards. If you could mix the 2 archetypes, maybe. If you control no monsters, or all monsters you control are fiend monsters, and this card is in your graveyard, except the turn it was sent there, you can banish that. You can banish it. Then target up to 11 of your banished Infernoid monsters with different names. Return them to the graveyard. Wow, that's a lot of Infernoids you could target potentially. It's good that it says up to and not just 11. Um, and like I said with that Fiend monster statement, it really could work in Dark Worlds maybe, just because it doesn't just stipulate Infernoid or Void for that effect. So that's really interesting. But it's really only for like recursion later in the game. So I don't know how relevant that could be. This card probably won't be even ran. And then we have Void Barrier. Okay, so you can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. Infernoid monsters you control gain 100 attack for each of your banished Infernoid monsters. Cool boost. If you control no monsters or all monsters you control are fiend monsters, you can activate one of these effects. Add one of your banished Infernoid. I'm so bad at saying that word. Infernoid monsters to your hand. Special summon one Infernoid monster from your hand, ignoring its summon conditions. Um, that's pretty good. That card's probably not that good either. But yo, Link, and the fusion. This fusion seems insane. So, do you think these cards will go up? Do you think it's like a buyouts are warranted, or do you think this is just not enough for the archetype? Definitely let me know, and I hope you have a great day.